Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Lauren James, and I will be guiding you through a Vinyasa flow yoga practice today, where we are going to focus on movement, which is a very general theme and sort of unlike most of the sequences I teach. I usually like to pick a body part and really just dive into that body part. But what I've been finding lately, and not just with myself, but also when I ask students what they're looking for, people are just looking to move. It's February as I'm recording this. It's February here in Chicago. It's very cold. We have a lot of snow. We can't be going outside. We're very restricted right now. And people just want movement, just full body movement, everything moving, everything going, sort of all systems go. So that's what we're gonna do. So keeping in mind that we're gonna be moving everywhere all the time, the sequence is really about fluid movement. We're not going to be holding things still. We're just going to keep moving all the time. But that doesn't mean it's fast. That doesn't mean that it's a really, really challenging practice. I hope you feel somewhat challenged in some parts, but this is not about working hard. It's just about keeping heat and movement and fluidity and sort of momentum in your body. It's not about like working hard and constant movement. It's not like that. So kind of keep that in mind. You always have options to stay still. I'll give you options to stay still, to stay static, to just hold where you're at, or invite in some movement. And something else to keep in mind, and I will keep reminding you as we're going through the practice, just because we're moving doesn't mean we're moving fast. I will actually be asking you several parts in the practice to move as if you're moving in slow motion. We're gonna take movements we typically do and slow them down. So you're moving, but you're moving really slow, and so it will feel different. So that's kind of where we're headed. Just lots of movement, but nothing too fast, nothing, again, this is not gonna be the hardest practice that I could come up with. That's not what we're doing. It's just about movement. Okay. You will need a block or something to support yourself in a supported bridge once we get into the stillness, and some space on either side. Typically, I don't really need you to have space on either side of you, but a lot of the movements will require either while we're standing or on the ground will require you to have some arm space on all sides. So just make sure you're not right up against a wall or anything. And I think that's it. Okay. So we're gonna get started. You can start seated. Just take a comfortable seated position, however feels best for you. Maybe you elevate your hips, sit on something. But find yourself in a comfortable seat. Allow your tailbone to sink down into whatever it is you're sitting on. Letting your legs feel heavy and relaxed. Put a little bit of effort into lengthening the spine. Reach up through the crown of the head, lengthen through the back of the neck. And even though you're lifting up with the crown of the head, can you let your shoulders soften away from your ears? Let your arms and hands rest wherever feels natural. Maybe even let your eyes softly close. Turning your attention inward, focus on your breath. And just really bringing your awareness to your breath, not changing the breath, not yet. Just notice this breath. Again, coming back to the idea of fluidity, things that are fluid and smooth, just like these movements we'll be coming into with our body, allow your breath to be fluid and smooth. Notice how your breath is uninterrupted. Steady stream of breath. And you can stay like this, exactly as you are, observing your natural breath. Or maybe you join me in a practice called Viloma 3. Viloma is where we divide the breath into 3 equal parts. Viloma 1 is when we do that to the inhalation. Viloma 2 is when we do that to the exhalation. Viloma 3 is where we divide the inhalation and the exhalation each into 3 equal parts, pausing and holding the breath for a moment after each part. We'll do a round of Viloma 3 and then a few rounds of a natural breath. We'll repeat that a few times. So again, you're welcome to stay with your natural breath, or maybe just divide the inhalation or just the exhalation, or join me with both. Okay. Again, check in with your physical body for just one more moment. Let your legs relax, reach up through the crown of the head, soften the shoulders. Take a natural breath here. Inhale. Exhale completely. Push all of the breath out of your lungs. We'll begin Viloma 3. Inhale 1/3 of the way. Pause. Hold your breath here. 1/3 of the way. Pause. Hold the breath. And now inhale 2/3 of the way. Inhaling just to 2/3 and then pause. Hold the breath here. And then inhale 3/3. 3/3, fill your lungs all the way up, 100%. Hold it at the top, holding the breath. And then exhale, release 1/3 of the breath. Release just 1/3 and then pause, hold the breath. Now exhale and release 2/3. Exhale to release 2/3 of the breath and then pause, hold here. Now exhale 3/3, release all of the breath. Release 100% of the breath. Hold the bottom at the end of the exhalation. And then inhale naturally. Exhale naturally. A few more rounds of your natural breath. And then again, begin Viloma 3. Exhale completely. Push all of the breath out of your lungs. Inhale 1/3 of the way, pause, hold your breath here, find some stillness. Inhale 2/3 of the breath, inhaling just to 2/3, pause, hold the breath, find some stillness. Now inhale 3/3, fill your lungs completely all the way, inhaling, and then hold your breath at the top. Exhale 1/3. Pause, hold the breath. Find stillness. Exhale 2/3, releasing 2/3 of the breath and then pause, hold here. Find softness. And then exhale 3/3, push every last drop of breath out. Release, 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 hold it at the bottom. Inhale naturally, exhale naturally, breathe naturally, one more breath. And then back to Viloma 3. Exhale completely, push all of the breath out. And then inhale 1/3 of the way, pause, hold your breath, relax your shoulders and arms. Inhale 2/3 of the breath. Pause here, hold your breath, soften your throat and chest. Inhale 3/3 of the way, fill your lungs to their capacity. Inhale all the way, hold the breath, relax the muscles of your face. And then exhale 1/3 of the breath, release 1/3 of the breath, soften the shoulders and arms and hold the breath. Exhale 2/3 of the breath, releasing 2/3 of the breath and softening your throat, your chest, your jaw. Hold the breath. Finally, exhale 3/3 of the breath. Release all of the breath, but keep the muscles of your face relaxed. Hold the breath at the bottom as you've released all of the breath. Notice this feeling of being empty. Inhale naturally. Exhale naturally. Another round of breath on your own. And we'll do one final round of Viloma 3. Exhale completely. Push all the breath out. Inhale 1/3 of the way. Pause. Hold the breath. Soften. Inhale 2/3 of the breath. Inhale 2/3. Pause. Hold it. Soften. Inhale 3/3. Fill your lungs all the way to their capacity. Hold the breath and soften. Exhale 1/3 of the breath. Hold the breath, but find softness. Exhale 2/3 of the breath. Release 2/3 of the breath. Pause. Hold the breath. Find stillness. Now exhale 3/3 of the breath. Push every last bit of breath out. Keep exhaling and then hold it at the bottom, but find softness even at the bottom of the exhalation. Hold it. And then return to your natural breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come completely back to your natural breath. Notice how you feel. Notice how Viloma affected you. Now slowly join your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra with the palms together and the thumbs softly resting on the collarbones. If it feels right for you in this moment, you're welcome to take this time to set an intention for your practice, reflecting on a positive word or phrase, and then giving yourself some time to silently and slowly repeat it to allow it to settle in your heart. And slowly draw your chin in towards your chest, bowing reverently at your intention. And then slowly allow your eyelids to flutter open so you're looking down at your fingertips. You can gently release your hands, slowly lift your head. All right, we are going to stay seated. So you might want to change the cross of your legs, take some other adjustment, whatever you need. Okay, and we're going to start with these fluid movements. Again, that doesn't mean they're going to be fast or large or challenging. We're just going to keep up consistent movement. And we're just going to start with some small circles in a variety of joints that generally need a little bit of warming up. So let's start with the neck. So again, lengthen up through the crown of the head, soften the shoulders, relax the arms, and we're just going to do some head and neck circles. So not your largest circles, but not teeny tiny baby ones, just starting with some circles here in the head and the neck. Again, not your largest circle, but not so small that you don't feel anything. Just a few more, maybe 2 or 3 in this direction. And then wherever feels appropriate, pause and reverse the direction of the circle. Now, as we're seated here, keep reaching your chest up, softening your shoulders, softening your arms. Relax through the hips. Let's do about 1 or 2 more like this. And then just slowly make your way back to the center so the neck is in neutral. Okay, now keeping the neck in neutral, let's do the same with the shoulders. So making really large circles here with your shoulders. Now when we do shoulder circles in these shoulder rolls, I think people often focus on the up and the down. I want you to really think about all 4 directions. Draw the shoulders really far forward, really far up, really far back, really far down. Moving in these full circles, even if you have to think about sort of all 4 directions, in not necessarily a circle, if it's almost like you're making a square and then you round it out, that's all right. Let's do 1 more just like this. And And then just reverse the direction of the circle. So again, thinking about really coming forward and back, not just up and down. We want to really move the shoulder, get it warmed up. Let's do 1 or 2 more like this. Large, big circles. And then let the shoulders relax. Now we're just going to do the wrists. So just lifting the arms slightly and just pick one direction, just really large circles here in the wrists. You can keep the elbows and fingers fairly relaxed. Do 1 or 2 more in the direction you're going, and then reverse. 1 or 2 more. Okay, and then relax the arms. We're gonna do a little bit for our spine here. So just this sort of seated cat and cows. So let the tailbone relax, reach up through the crown of the head. Inhale, let the belly draw forward, lift your chest, lift your heart. You might even look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs back, chin to the chest, looking down towards your belly. Inhale, draw the belly forward, lift the chest, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs back, chin to the chest. Just a few more, exactly like this. Notice that you're rocking on your pelvis. You're probably leaning your pelvis forward, leaning it back, rocking to the front edge of the sit bones, the back of the sit bones. That's good. We want as much movement through the spine here as we can. Let's do 1 more of each, just like this. And we'll do another movement for our spine. So then slowly return back to the center. Now we're gonna do a movement for our spine similar to what we were just doing for our shoulders. So instead of just up and down or forward and back, we're gonna move through circles. So now what I want you to think about is, again, lengthening. We're always lengthening the spine, right? So just like before, draw the ribs forward, but now draw them to the right and to the back and to the left and keep going. So you might sort of do these 4 sides. Think about drawing your ribs to the 4 walls around you. Now, you might stay like this and just really focus on these 4 sides, or you might make it a little more fluid, like it's a circle. Either way, you are gonna feel that sort of rocking in your pelvis. You're gonna lean a little to the right, lean a little to the left, forward and back. That's all right. We just, again, really want a fluid motion through the length of the spine. So it's sort of like you're spiraling your ribs, drawing it forward, around, and back. Let's do it in this direction 1 more time. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And then again, wherever feels appropriate, reverse the direction of the circle. And again, you might come back to just sort of the front, the left, the back, and it might be not super fluid. That's okay, you're still moving. We just want movement happening to kind of keep that heat, because again, it's really cold here, and where most of you are, it's very cold. And so we just want to bring in some heat into our very cold bodies these days. Let's do 1 more like this. Okay, and then slowly return back to the center, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath here. Okay. All right, let's come to tabletop. So let's set up in tabletop. We're gonna move our spine in similar ways here, but now we've changed our relation to gravity, right? Before we were upright, crown of the head to the ceiling, but now it's the back side up to the ceiling. So we've changed our relation to gravity, so these movements feel a little different, but we're gonna do the same 2 movements we just did. So cat and cow, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the heart, look forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs to the sky, chin to the chest, look towards your belly. Just a few more like this. Inhale, as you drop the belly, pull the heart forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs to the sky, chin to the chest. Do just 1 more of each, just like this. Moving the whole length of the spine. Now again, instead of just going forward and back, let's do full motion circles. So from a neutral spine, let the ribs drop down towards the floor and then push them over to the right. And then up towards the sky, over the left, and down towards the mat. So again, like you're sort of spiraling your rib cage. So now you're moving up, down, and around. We'll do just 1 more like this. And then again, when you're ready, reverse the direction of the circle. So these are just different ways to move. Incorporating a little bit of different movement. Let's do one more like this. Okay, and then back to tabletop. Okay, so from tabletop, walk your hands one whole handprint closer to the top of the mat. Hook the toes under, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Now here we'll stay for just a few breaths, and I will give you a few moments to stay still or take some movement. I always like to pedal out my heels, kind of let the hips sway. Or maybe you just stay still. Maybe you shake your head yes and no, whatever you need. Let's stay for about 2 more breaths. Okay, now let's all meet in downward facing dog. Now here's where we're gonna do a transition that we do frequently, but I want you to do it in slow motion. So I'm gonna count, and I want you to take the whole count to take this transition. Okay, so spread the fingers as wide as they'll go. Inhale, shift forward to plank for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you arrive in a plank. Draw the tailbone down and in. Push the hands down, inhale, exhale, down dog for 4, slow motion, 3, 2, 1, arriving in down dog. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, exhale, shift forward, slow motion, 4, 3, 2, 1, arriving in plank. Push the hands down, inhale, exhale, down dog, slow motion, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, shift forward. Last one, slow motion, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arriving in that strong, stable plank. Inhale, exhale, down dog, slow motion, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold down dog for a full breath. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump forward, fold, Uttanasana. Now here again, maybe you stay still, maybe you pedal out the heels, bend the knees, sway the torso, shake your head yes and no, but let's stay for about 3 breaths. Okay, and then from forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine, crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Push the heels down, inhale, rise all the way up. Fingertips to the sky, maybe even look up. We're gonna keep going right into it. Exhale, fold forward, keeping up this movement. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Push the heels down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Fingertips to the sky. We're going to do 2 more like that. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, push the heels down. Make sure the legs do the work, not the back. Rising up, 1 more. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, push the heels down, circle the arms, maybe look up. We're gonna keep going. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot back, all the way back, runner's lunge. Hands can always be on blocks or the mat. We're not gonna stay here long. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So even though we're gonna continue to move, you are not in any rush or hurry. Move at your own pace. Okay, spread your fingers. We're moving in slow motion. Inhale, shift forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Arrive in the plank. Draw your belly button in towards your face, like it's pointing towards your face. Push the hands down. Now again, another transition in slow motion here. You can drop to your knees or stay on your toes, but inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slow motion, lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down onto the ground. Tops of the feet on the ground. Bring your hands in front of you a little bit, like they're in front of your mat, coming down onto the ground with fingertips down. We're going to take a sort of a wave-like cobra. So push the hands down and inhale, slowly rise up, lifting the chest. Exhale, lower. We're going to keep moving. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, lower. A few more. Inhale, lift the chest, relax the shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. Okay, now another transition I want you to just really give thought to. Hands under the shoulders, spread the fingers. Now I like to hook the toes under and I like to push my knees down. I come to a modified plank first, but either way, you're gonna tuck your tailbone like you're pointing your belly button towards your face, engage your core. Inhale, push the hands down, rise to a modified plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So can you add that sort of little mini push-up from your belly to a modified plank even, and then put more thought into that entire transition. Okay, now again, a little bit of slow motion here. Pick up the right foot, reach the right heel back. You're not swinging it back, you're reaching it very thoughtfully back. Inhale. Exhale as you draw the right knee in towards your belly, quietly placing your right foot in between your hands at the top of the mat. Hands can come onto blocks or stay right where they're at, but again, we're not here long. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Push the heels down to inhale, rise all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana, lifting the chest. We're gonna do that again. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step the left foot back, all the way back, runner's lunge for just a moment. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You are in no rush or hurry. Take your time, catch your breath. Spread your fingers, slow motion. Inhale, shift forward, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the plank. Draw your belly button so it points a little bit more at your face. Now inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slow motion, lower. 4, 3. Keep the elbows in tight. 2, 1. Let everything touch down at the same time. Tops of the feet down, hands in front of you a little. Fingertips down as you inhale, roll up like a wave. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. A few more like that. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the shoulders. Exhale, lower. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now bring the hands under the shoulders. Hook the toes under. I like to lift to just my knees first, but you could try this with your toes. But tuck your tailbone, belly button towards your face. Engage your core, brace your abs. And then inhale, lift to a modified plank. Exhale, lift to downward facing dog. Now slowly pick up the left foot, reach the left heel back towards the wall behind you. Inhale, exhale, draw the left knee in towards your belly. Quietly place your left foot in between your hands. Take as many steps as you need to get it there. Make sure it comes all the way forward. Just a moment here. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, push the heels down. Reach fingertips up. We're going to keep going. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot back, all the way back. Pause in the runner's lunge for a moment. Make sure all 10 toes are forward. Your right heel is off the ground. Deeply bend the left knee. Bring your hands to the top of the left thigh to lift your torso. Now here's where you've got options. You absolutely could just stay here and focus on stretching your hip flexor. You guys know how to do that. You absolutely could. You might keep the arms low. You might lift the arms up. You might stay still. You might add movement. Okay, if you're gonna add movement, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let the arms come out, bend both knees, dropping that back shin towards the floor, doing a lunge. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale as you bend both knees, drop that back shin down, arms come out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. A few more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Really push through that front heel to help stabilize and really make sure that the legs are doing the work. And then settle into that upright crescent lunge, tuck the tailbone. Okay, and then inhale, exhale, bring the hands down. Now, make sure that the right hand is directly under the right shoulder. It could be on a block or right on the mat. Reach the crown of your head forward. Inhale. Exhale as you reach left fingertips to the sky, taking a twist. You might look up, you might look down, but keep deeply bending the left knee, push the left heel into the floor. You could stay here and stay still, or left fingertips reach forward in the same direction as the crown of your head, down, and then eventually towards the wall behind you, making circles. Keep moving in that direction. A few more. Now maybe you just do circles in the shoulder and just the arm moves, or maybe you drop the chest, lift the chest, make it a full body movement, even incorporating the spine. Do 1 more in this direction, and then reach fingertips to the sky, reverse the direction, fingertips back, and then down and forward. And again, you might just make it a shoulder and arm movement. You might allow the torso to move as well, but do 1 more. And then fingertips reach to the sky, pause there, hold this lunging twist. Inhale, exhale, bring the left hand down. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna come back to this multiple times. This in down dog, and I will say this every time, you take the transition you need. So maybe you want more movement and you take a vinyasa. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, no, I don't want any more movement, and that's okay. So stay here, take a child's pose, whatever you need, but you're gonna have lots of opportunities to take the transition you want. So truly take what you want. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. All right, let's all meet in downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, deeply bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump. Forward fold Uttanasana. We're going to come right into the second side from here. So inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step the left foot back, all the way back. Runner's lunge. All 10 toes forward, left heel off the ground. Deeply bend the right knee. Bring your hands to the top of the right thigh to help lift your torso. Find stability here. So if you're feeling unstable, maybe your right foot walks over to the right a little bit. And you can stay here. Maybe you focus on your hip flexor. Maybe you keep your arms low. Maybe you reach the arms up. And again, you can stay still, or inhale, exhale, bend both knees, reach the arms out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Push through the right heel. That's what's going to help lift you up, making sure that the legs are doing the work, the muscles in the legs, not the joints, not the knee. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale, just moving with your breath. 1 more. Keep the shoulders relaxed, even when the arms come up overhead, and then pause here. Arms up overhead. Lift it up in this crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Left hand is going to be right under the left shoulder on a block or the mat. Inhale, crown of the head forward. Exhale, right fingertips to the sky. Take a twisted lunge. Deeply bend the right knee, push the right heel down. Now you could stay here, or right fingertips reach forward, down and around, and maybe you keep up these circles just in the shoulder, or maybe you let the heart and torso drop and lift, incorporating the spine and the torso. Listen to your body. Let's do 2 more circles in this direction. Keep up a smooth, fluid breath. And then when you're ready, fingertips will reach towards the sky and reverse the direction of the circle. Again, maybe that circle's just in the shoulder and arm, maybe it's in the torso. Do what feels right for you. Let's do 2 more. And then fingertips reach up to the sky again, 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, bring the right hand down. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Take the transition you like before we keep going. So again, that might involve movement, it might involve stillness, but it is something that feels good for you and something that makes sense for you and your body in this moment. Let's take 2 more breaths. Okay. Now let's all meet in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, pick up the left foot slowly. Reach that left heel back. Inhale. Exhale, draw the left knee in towards your belly. Quietly place the left foot in between your hands, all the way forward at the top of the mat. Now this time, the right foot, hop it forward 1 little hop, and pivot the back foot so that back heel is grounded. Right toes will point towards the top right corner of your mat. Deeply bend the left knee, bring the hands to the top of the left thigh to help lift the torso. Steady your legs, find stability, and then allow the arms to lift and reach up. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Now, you could stay just as you are, or inhale, exhale, straighten the left leg, come to goalpost, pull the heart forward. Inhale, Warrior 1. Exhale, straighten the left leg, goalpost. Inhale, Warrior 1, move with your breath. Now, again, pushing through that front heel, not the toes. And think about grounding even through the right pinky toe. Pulling the heart forward, shoulders down and back. Let's do 1 more. And then slowly settle into your Warrior 1. Deeply bending the front knee, fingertips reach to the sky. 1 breath here. And then allow the arms to lower, fingertips dropping, pointing towards the floor. Now we're going to keep the arms alongside the body. Notice that your arms are alongside your body, but we're going to tip forward. So hinging at your hips, tip your torso forward so you're now looking down at your left big toe. Fingertips are sort of reaching for the back of your mat now. You could stay here and you could stay still, or inhale, exhale, reach fingertips forward in the same direction as the crown of your head. Exhale, let them sweep down and back. Fingertips reach to the wall behind you. Fingertips reach forward, the wall in front of you. Fingertips reach back towards the wall behind you. Now, can you keep your legs and your torso still? Arms are moving, but can you engage your muscles to keep everything else still? Stillness through the legs and torso, but movement through the arms. Let's do 1 more just like this. Keep up a fluid breath. Make sure you are breathing. Now, next time your fingertips reach forward towards the wall in front of you, keep them there. Firmly push the left heel down. Inhale, slowly rise all the way back up to a Warrior 1. Relax the shoulders. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Take the transition you prefer. Let's meet in downward facing dog. From down dog, slowly pick up the right foot, reach the right heel back. Inhale. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the belly. Quietly place the right foot in between the hands, taking as many steps as you need to get it there. Now, left foot is going to hop forward one little hop and then pivot the back foot. Heel is down. Left toes point to the top left corner of your mat. Deeply bend the right knee, hands to the top of the right thigh, lift the torso, find stability. Okay. I know I mentioned that we're not really holding a lot of stillness, but you still want to have these moments where at least you just sort of check in. Okay, and then you let the arms come up, shoulders relaxed. Okay, now you could stay here. You could choose stillness, or inhale, exhale, straighten the right leg, come to goal post to lift the chest. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, straighten that right leg, push through the heel, broaden through the collarbones, and then warrior one. A few more like this. Move with your breath. And then again, grounding through the heels, lifting the chest, opening the collarbones, relaxing shoulders away from the ears. Let's do 2 more like this. Slow and controlled. We are moving, but we're not moving fast. It's not careless. It's slow and controlled. And now you're going to settle into your warrior one. Hold it for a moment. Now allow the arms to release. Fingertips point down towards the ground. Notice your arms are alongside your torso. We're going to keep it that way, but we're going to tip forward. So you're closing your hip flexors. Shortening the hip flexors. So now you're looking down at your right big toe. Fingertips are reaching towards the wall behind you. You could stay here or inhale. Exhale, let the fingertips reach forward towards the wall in front of you. And then fingertips sweep down and back. Fingertips reach to the wall behind you. Now arms are moving, torso and legs stay still. Can you keep stillness in the torso and legs? Then we know muscles are working. There is engagement. So you might feel like you're working hard, but notice you're not moving fast. That's what I want. I want you to move slow and controlled, but still feel your muscles work. Now the next time your fingertips reach forward, hold it there. Firmly push to the right heel and inhale, slowly rise, warrior one. Take a breath. Okay, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, down dog. Take your transition. We'll meet in downward facing dog. From down dog, slowly pick up the left foot, reach the left heel back, inhale. Exhale, draw the left knee into the belly, quietly place the left foot in between the hands. Now this time we're not going to walk the right foot forward, but we are going to pivot the foot so that the right heel is all the way down, right toes point to the right side of your mat. Deeply bend the left knee, bring the hands to the top of the left thigh to lift the torso, find stability. And then allow the arms to reach out in opposite directions. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Now you know how to set this up, and you could stay here and just focus on that, or pushing firmly through the front heel, inhale, exhale, straighten that front leg, fingertips to the sky, maybe even look up, and settling into your warrior two. Inhale to rise, exhale, settle in. Now every time you settle into your warrior two, can you open the hip? Can you draw your left kneecap a little bit more towards your left pinky toe each time? Opening that hip a little bit more, and then also relaxing the shoulders a little bit more every time they lower. Let's do 2 more just like this. You've got it. Again, not fast, just smooth and fluid movements. And then settle into your warrior two. Okay, legs are gonna stay still. We're just gonna focus on the upper body. So the back hand, it's gonna come like it's reaching for the back of your head or like the back of your right shoulder. Left hand, the back of your hand is gonna come towards your lower back. So sort of like Gomukhasana, if you're familiar, okay? Keep the legs still, the torso still. Inhale, let the arms come back out in opposite directions. Exhale, switch the arms. Inhale, let the arms come out in opposite directions. Exhale, switch. We'll do a few more like this. Focus on moving fluid movements through the arms and shoulders in a way that feels good. They don't have to reach all the way back. Even though the arms are moving and shoulders might feel like they're working, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let's do one more each side. Keep grounding the heels. Stay strong through the legs. Lifted through the spine. Just make sure you come out even. And then eventually let the fingertips reach out in opposite directions, palms face down. Stay for one deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the arms, step back, downward facing dog. Take the transition you prefer. We'll meet in down dog. From downward facing dog, slowly pick up the right foot, reach the right heel back, inhale. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the belly, quietly place the right foot in between your hands. That's the last time we have to do that. And then pivot the left foot, ground that left heel, left toes point over to the left edge of your mat. Deeply bend the right knee, bring the hands to the top of the right thigh to help lift your torso. Eventually, when you feel ready, cartwheel the arms, warrior two. Push firmly through the heels, reach up through the crown of the head. You can stay in stillness or pushing through the heel. Inhale, exhale, rise, maybe even look up. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, rise. Move with your breath. A few more like this. Can you open your right hip a little bit more every time you bend the knee? Every time you settle into this warrior two, can you make that hip opening a little bit more pronounced, a little bit more present? And again, softening the shoulders. Let's do two more. Smooth, controlled movements, not fast. You're not in a hurry. And now the next time you settle into this warrior two, hold it here. You absolutely could just stay here, or the front hand is going to come by the back of your head. Back hand will come by your lower back. Okay, I don't know which way you can see me. Okay, so keeping the torso still, legs still. Inhale, arms out in opposite directions. Exhale, change the arms. Inhale, arms out in opposite directions. Exhale, change the arms. Now keep checking in with your legs. Keep grounding the heels. Keep pushing firmly through the heels, especially the front heel. Softening shoulders. Notice what's happening in your arms, in your shoulders, in your upper back as you take this shoulder opener. Let's do one more in each direction on each side. Take some deep breaths. And then the next time your arms reach out in opposite directions, take a strong warrior two, hold it for a breath. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel the arms. Final time, take the transition you like. Move in a way that feels appropriate for you. Take one more breath wherever you're at. All right. And now from here, let's meet all the way down on the mat in child's pose. So we'll take a still soft child's pose here. So the knees can either be together or wide. Big toes are together though. Drop the seat back by the heels. Maybe arms stay forward. Maybe you just stack your hands, rest your forehead. But let's take about 3 to 5 breaths here in this child's pose, coming to stillness, finding softness. All right, now we're going to come all the way down onto our stomach. So you can just sort of slide your way forward onto your stomach. And this is where you'll need room on either side of you and in front of you. So you might have to move blocks, move some things around so they're not in your way. Okay. All right. So we're going to do the same thing we just did standing in Warrior 2 with the arms, that Gomukhasana arm position, but again, changing our relation to gravity because now we're facing the floor instead of facing the wall or standing upright, and so it will feel a little different. It should feel comfortable, maybe challenging, that's okay. All right, so right arm is going to come up like it's reaching for the back of your head or like the back of your right shoulder. Left hand is like it's reaching for your lower back. Let everything rest down on the ground for just a moment. Let your forehead rest on the ground. Stay for a moment. Okay, and then slowly lift your upper body, lift your chest. Doesn't have to come up very high, but just lift it up a little. Feel the engagement in the lower back. Let the arms come out in opposite directions. Change the cross of the arms and slowly lower down. We're going to keep going like this. Inhale to lift and reach out. Exhale, bring it in, lower down. Inhale, lift and expand. Exhale, bring it in and lower. Keep going like this. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, bring it in and lower. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We're going to do 2 more each side. Stay with a fluid movement, a fluid breath. Notice what's happening for you. Notice where you feel this. There's a lot of spaces working. 1 more. Next time you lower all the way down, you can stack your hands, rest your forehead, or maybe just rest your cheek. But just let everything in your upper body rest in stillness. And you can stay just as you are, or maybe bend your knees, bottoms of the feet up towards the sky, and then let the legs sway side to side, letting the feet drop over to the right and the left. Let your hips kind of shift. Okay, so we are going to continue moving, but we're going to start cooling down. So again, we're going to keep up movement. But we're going to let the intensity kind of come down a little. So take some deep breaths, maybe keep moving the legs. Let your legs go to each side 1 or 2 more times. All right, and then allow the legs to lengthen, tops of the feet on the mat. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Now, just like before with that transition, tuck the toes under, push the knees down into the ground. Tuck your tailbone like you're lifting your belly away from the ground, belly button towards the face. Push the hands down, come to that modified plank, and then to tabletop. And from here, we're gonna come down onto our backs. So we're gonna do a few moving bridges and then our supported bridge. So you'll need a block in a moment, but just have it close by. So make your way down onto your back with nothing under your head. Bridge is one of the very few poses that we want to just have our head right on the ground, no support under the head or neck. All right, so come down onto your back, knees bent, feet flat, feet and knees hip distance, toes forward, arms alongside the body. Now, again, tuck your tailbone like you're pointing your belly button towards your face. Push the feet into the ground, inhale, slowly lift the hips, lift the lower back, lift the mid back, get to the top and squeeze your glutes. Keep the tuck of the tailbone, belly button to the face, and exhale, slowly lower, slowly release, slowly drop it down. Now here, maybe you think about moving in slow motion. Inhale, lift, reach, rise, squeeze at the top, exhale to slowly, thoughtfully lower. Okay, if you're still looking for more movement, if your shoulders still are looking for more, maybe as you inhale and reach the hips, you lift the arms up, fingertips to the sky, and then eventually backs of the hands come on to the ground up overhead. And then as you lower the hips, you lower the arms, like your fingertips are tracing the shape of a rainbow. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms, fingertips reach towards the wall behind you, squeeze the glutes, and then exhale, slowly returning everything back down. We'll do a handful more, just like this. Add the arms, don't add the arms, do what you need to do. But again, slow, controlled movements. Nothing fast, nothing careless. Put thought into each and every one, each and every movement, each and every breath. Let's do 2 more just like this. And the next time you lower your hips and your spine, just rest here. Come into constructive resting pose for a moment. Walk the feet out a little bit wider. Maybe about mat distance, let the knees knock in toward one another. Just let your lower back really rest. Let it feel heavy and supported by the mat. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then come back to feet hip distance, toes forward, grab onto your block or whatever you'll use. You can use a bolster, you can use a lot of different things to support your hips in a supported bridge. A rolled up towel or blanket, whatever you need. It doesn't have to be hard in this shape, but tuck your tailbone, belly button to the face. Inhales, you slowly lift, reach, and rise, and then slide the block at either the lowest or the medium height under your sacrum. So if you do have a traditional yoga block, I would suggest either the lowest height or the middle height, medium height, as opposed to the highest height for a supported bridge. And now we are going to find some stillness. So again, we are starting to cool down. And so you might just stay just like this, feet flat on the ground, maybe arms alongside the body or out in opposite directions. Or maybe you take sort of a legs up the wall version of this pose, and if you choose to do that, make that transition thoughtful as well. So you'll slide your feet as close as you can into the block. Let's start with the right leg first. You're gonna lift your right heel up off the ground, coming just to the toes. Lift the left heel up off the ground. And now right leg, just lift the foot up enough so that the knee stacks over the hip, and then do the same with the left. I always like to bring the thighs and knees sort of together, and then straighten the right leg and straighten the left. So coming in sort of joint by joint or limb by limb, step by step, and we'll come out of it the same way. But again, this is optional. You could just keep your legs as they were, but find some stability. We're going to take several breaths here. So checking back in with your breath. Maybe even focus on lengthening the breath just a little bit. Not too much effort with the breath, but Can you breathe a little bit slower? A little more gentle? Can you make your breath a little easier, a little lighter? Invite softness and stillness into not just your physical body, but your entire being. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. If you're in this legs up the wall version of the pose with me, we're going to come out of it step by step. So bring your knees or your inner thighs together as much as possible. We'll start with the right leg. Bend just the right knee, then the left knee. Now let just the right toes touch the ground, and then the left toes, and then the right heel, and then the left heel. And we'll all stay in this supported bridge for a few breaths. Okay. And then firmly push the feet down. Inhale, lift your hips. Slide the block off to the side. Exhale, lower in slow motion. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way down, back into constructive resting pose. Feet wide, knees knock in. Take a few breaths. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest. Maybe you rock from side to side. Or stay in stillness. Maybe you take happy baby or point and flex your feet, maybe ankle circles. But one final time, take a transition, take a pose, take a movement, take a few moments to move in a way that feels good, whatever that looks like. And then when you're ready, settle into your Shavasana. So staying on your back, maybe even supporting the back of your head, or even maybe the backs of your knees, especially if you struggle with lower back issues. Maybe you put layers on. But eventually, find some more stillness. You haven't had a lot of stillness in the last hour. But here is your opportunity for all the stillness. We do all that movement, all that work, all that mental effort before Shavasana, so that hopefully you can find the stillness here. Hopefully you can settle into a position that feels like it takes no effort, no work, and you can just rest. slowly deepen your breath. And as you allow these deeper breaths to permeate your body, allow soft and subtle movements to occur throughout the body. Maybe rock your head side to side. Run your thumbs over the rest of your fingers as you wiggle your toes. Roll wrists and ankles. Move arms and legs. Maybe take a full body stretch, reaching fingertips and toes in opposite directions. Take a full deep breath here. And as you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest. And slowly roll over onto either side. Keeping your eyes closed and using the strength of both arms, push down into the ground, come up to a comfortable seat. Take a moment here to thank yourself for making it to your mat today. And maybe reflect on your intention. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. Now let's join the hands together again in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. To seal our practice, we'll chant the sound of Om one time. Om is said to be the oldest and most sacred mantra, uniting all living things together. So again, we will chant the sound of Om one time. Let's start with a deep and clearing breath. Inhale for Om. The light or the good in me acknowledges, respects, and bows to the light or the good in you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me and participating and being a good sport when I try out new things. Because if you've been following me or my classes for a while, you know that constant movement is not typically how I teach. I like a lot of stillness, and even in poses that are challenging, I like people to hold it for a long time. And so this idea of movement felt a little more organic again in the cold. But so thanks for trying it out. Let me know what you think. If you want more or less, whatever, let me know. Whatever you're craving, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep giving you what I'm craving, which may or may not work. So again, thank you for joining me. I hope to see you soon. Take care of yourself and have a wonderful day. Bye.